Lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Amy and I'm a cruelty-free makeup enthusiast and blogger. So today we're actually sitting on my floor. I don't show you my Alex drawers very much. This is where I store the majority of my makeup. Here I have all of my foundations, primers, and powders. And honestly, this drawer is kind of getting out of control. I wanted to do a declutter because I actually do have a couple of new foundations coming in that I recently ordered, so I gotta make room for them and kind of get rid of some old stuff. So I figured it's just a good old-fashioned part of my declutter and collection series that I started back over the summer. Now I am holding the camera right now. I'm actually recording this on my phone. I'm trying to use a stabilizer, so hopefully it's not overly shaky. I'm sorry if it is rocking the boat too much, but it's just easier for me to film this way. So before I get into this, let me pull out my everyday basket that sits on my desk. This is where I pull my shop, my stash stuff and kind of sit it along my desk. Let me see if I could just kind of sit here. There we go. So I could kind of show you these I'm definitely not getting rid of. So let me start over here and show you just what I have. I have my Cloven Hollow. This is the Liquid Skin Tint, which is a wonderful cleaner foundation. And then with that, I have the, what is this called? Conceal and Perfect or Conceal and Correct, I think. Yes, and this is in shade number 2. Great cleaner concealer as well. Actually, in here I have a bunch of cleaner formulas. So then I have the Exa primer and the Exa foundation. This is a newer brand and they have over 40 shades, so I think they're super diverse and awesome. I really like this formula a lot. And then I have a good trusty Cover FX. This is my Power Play foundation, and then the concealer. I actually don't think they make my shade anymore. This one's like a little bit too light, but as you can see, I'm starting to finally show some kind of panning progress in here. So that's that. Let me see, am I missing any other? Oh yes, concealer. So this is my Hint Beauty concealer. This is the Duet Perfecting Concealer. Again, another cleaner formulation. This is a really great pot concealer for under eye, but also to cover if you have any acne spots or anything. So I really like that. So all this is being kept. Underneath here, I do have my Vapor Setting Powder. I really like this as well. So I just wanted to show you that before I put it away. And then also I have my Nabla setting powder. This is a really good setting powder. If you want something that's a cheaper, well not cheap, but less expensive alternative to the Charlotte Tilbury powder, I think this is a really good one. And then I have my Mystifying Mattifying Pressed Powder, and this is from Lunatic Cosmetic Labs. This is old, but I have Major Pan in it, so I just wanted to show that to you. These aren't going anywhere. I'm using them in my everyday kind of stash. So let me just move this out of the way, and then we can get back to this mess right here. Let's start over here then. Let's start with the primers. So the Too Faced Primed and Peachy, love this. It's a cooling, mattifying one. This is actually a repurchase of mine. I had this back in 2017 maybe, and I really like this primer, and I ended up repurchasing it because they had a 50% off sale on Too Faced website. So definitely keeping that. And then we also have the Good Molecules Silicone-Free Priming Moisturizer. This is a really great primer to use in the morning. I absolutely adore it, so I'm keeping this one as well. So for my other primers, I have my Milk Hydro Grip. This is a really great formula that makes everything kind of adhere to the skin. So I really like this. I'm definitely going to hold on to it. Then I have the Fourth Ray milks. These are the face milks. This one is the matcha one, which is supposed to be energizing. And then this one is the acai one. And this one's supposed to help, I think, prevent against pollution. So I use these every now and then. I'm not crazy about them, but I do like them as primers. So once these are done, then they'll just be done. Let's see what else we have in here. This isn't necessarily a primer, but this is the Milani Soft Focus Glow. This is a really great thing to mix in with a foundation. As you can see, I've actually used quite a bit of it, but I really like this, so I'm going to hold on to this as well. Here are my other primers. I have this mini Tarte Quench Hydrating Primer. This is a nice little primer as well. It's really small, and I think I've used more than half of it, so I'll just keep this until it's gone and empty. So let me just put this to the side. Okay, so the NYX High Glass. This is a very interesting brightening primer, but I think it's a little too illuminating for me. I tend to lean a little towards the more oily side, so I think I'm going to give this to a friend. Alright, so we'll do that. The Cover FX, this is their gripping primer. I think this is as close as the Hydro Grip from Milk that I have in my collection. This gives a glass-like finish, and I've used this for quite some time. I'm going to continue using this because this was pretty expensive. Here's another primer that I surprisingly like. This is the Milani one, and it has a little bit of a green base, so it helps reduce redness, and it's really, really soft and comfortable on the skin. So I'm going to hold on to this. Here's one that I think I can actually get rid of. This is the ColourPop All-Star. This is the Matte and Blur Primer. It's okay. It's more of a pore-filling, kind of blurring primer, but I feel like I have that with some of my other primers, so I am going to declutter this one. And then the CoverGirl one. This one is the Pore Minimizing Primer. I am also going to declutter this one just because I have another pore minimizing one from e.l.f. that I really like. I remember liking this, but I wasn't crazy about it, so that's why I'm fine with letting it go. So I'm going to declutter this one too. I have this giant, this is 4 times the original size of the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. I love this primer. It's super affordable, it's effective, it again gives you that kind of poreless look to the skin. This is definitely a dupe for Benefit's Professional, but you know, this is cruelty-free and vegan, which I think is awesome. So I'm definitely holding on to this. And then the last primer I have, this is the Poreless Putty Primer. This is supposed to be their dupe for the Tatcha Silk Canvas, which I really like that primer. I used up a whole one a couple years ago, so I figured I would try this out. I have not opened this one up yet, but I hopefully am going to get to this next month. So for foundations, the biggest one that I have, this is the Derma Blend. This is the leg and body makeup. I got this because they said it was really good to kind of cover tattoos. I do have a tattoo on my right forearm that I've been covering just for theater, and so I wasn't crazy about this, to be completely honest, but I didn't try it enough, so I think I'm going to hold on to it for maybe another couple of months, see if I can actually use it on my face as well, and if I don't like it, then I'm going to declutter it because it is quite big. Yeah, it's 3.4 ounces, which is a lot for a foundation, so we will see about that. I really have mixed feelings about this. I also have in this corner right here, this is the RMS. This is the Uncover Up Cream Foundation. I really like this foundation a lot, particularly during the winter months. It has this cute little spatula that comes with it. So I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm just gonna put it right over here for now. Let me go back here first because some of my favorites are actually back here. So this one is my Pacifica. This is the Alight Clean Foundation. As you can see, I've used about half of it. I really love this foundation. I think this is probably my favorite drugstore foundation. I really like how brightening this is without being oily or greasy, and again, it's oil-free, which I think that's why it kind of looks so good on the skin. But I'm definitely holding on to this. I'm also holding on to the Too Faced Peach Perfect. This is the Comfort Matte. I really like this as well for when I want more mattifying days. So this is a repurchase because I had used a tube of this a couple years ago and they were having a sale, so I picked this up. Definitely holding on to that one. And then my other favorite foundation, this is my Urban Decay. This is the Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation. This is so good. I like that it's more medium, like lighter to medium coverage, because it lets your skin kind of breathe and it makes it look like natural, and it's got a great finish to it. So as you can see, I've used more than half of this and I'm going to continue using it, and I would definitely repurchase this in the future. And then let's see, these are I have 2 of these which I have been using for quite some time. These are the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop, and I really like this foundation. I actually think it's a really great full coverage drugstore foundation. The problem is the pumps are an absolute nightmare. They get kind of congested really easily, and then it's almost impossible to get the product out. I would have to go in and get a needle and like kind of stick it in the little hole of the pump and try to wiggle it around to get the product out. But that being said, I did use a lot of these. As you can see, I have about half the bottle on this one. I used to mix them together because one was too dark and one was too light. I just think that these now are older, and honestly the pump just drives me nuts. So I think I'm just going to toss these because I don't feel comfortable passing them on to anyone. So we're gonna declutter those. This is the ABH foundation. This is the luminous one, I believe, yes. So I am kind of on the fence about this foundation. I liked it when I first tried it, and then I think I may have applied it not too long ago and I wasn't as crazy about it as I once was. However, I would like to use it a couple more times before I decide to declutter, so I am going to hold on to this one. This one is my KVD locket. This is a really great, I like this for stage and also for videos just because it gives you that full coverage kind of effect. Not necessarily for everyday wear, but I do really like it. I'm in the shade Light 45 Neutral. Definitely going to hold on to this. I don't know if I would ever repurchase this though, but I do like it for, you know, kind of more filming and photography reasons. So I'm going to hold on to that. The Milani Conceal and Perfect. This is another great drugstore foundation. I really like this one, and I forgot how much I liked it. I did a Milani video earlier this year using all of their products, and I forgot how good this really is. So I'm going to hold on to this one as well. Okay, Dose of Colors. Going to hold on to this one too. This one's a bit too dark for me right now, but I'm thinking maybe next month if I mix this in with my ABH one, I think we can get a good color match going. So I am going to hold on to this one as well. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. I actually do enjoy this foundation. I'm not obsessed with it, but for $6, I think it's decent for the price. So I am going to hold on to it, and there isn't too much product in here, so maybe that can be a goal for the beginning of next year, is to pan this. So let's hold on to that one too. This is an excellent foundation that doesn't get enough love. This is the Pure 4-in-1 Love Yourselfie. This is great. It has the pump in it, but it also has a concealer doe foot if you pull this out. And I think this is wonderful. It comes in 100 shades, which is crazy to think about, but I feel like you can find your shade with this foundation. It is full coverage, but it's not like a mask. I feel like whenever I wear this, I have really good makeup days, so I highly recommend this foundation if you're ever going into Ulta. Another really good drugstore foundation that I like is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh. This is the Skin Milk Foundation in Light. I really like this because, again, it's a very lightweight foundation, and I just think it blends into the skin really good. It gives that dewy, fresh look without looking super oily. Now, as someone who does lean a little bit more to the combo oily side, this did not make me look greasy. I feel like maybe people who have drier skin, it didn't really work out as much for them, which is interesting because it's more of a dewy foundation, but for me it worked. I don't know, that sounds really strange, but I really like this foundation. The Juvia's Place foundation. Okay, I am not crazy about this foundation. I think it looks a little bit too much like a mask. I want to like this. Do I give it another try or do I declutter? I think I'm going to declutter this. Yeah, we're going to declutter this. I think I'm going to declutter this too. This is the Tarte Maracuja tinted hydrator, and this was actually, it's just a little sample size, but honestly I think it was a little too hydrating for me. I think this would be a really great option for someone with more mature or dry skin, so I'm gonna pass this on. And then this is just an LA Girl. I've never even opened this, but I purchased this recently. This is a foundation mixing pigment just to lighten up darker foundations, so that's just something I have in hand for that purpose. All right, concealers. Ugh, there's too many concealers. I think I'm gonna actually declutter a bunch of these. So the first one I know I'm gonna get rid of, this is the ColourPop No Filter. This is just really old. It's an okay formula, but because it's old, I'm just going to toss it. The Milani Conceal and Perfect. I do not like this concealer, actually. It made my under eyes age. It made me look 5 to 10 years older than what I really am, so I am going to declutter this as well. Here is one that I absolutely love. This is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Hydrating Concealer. I really like this whole Clean Fresh line, so I'm definitely going to keep this. Here's another concealer that I really like. This is the Stay Naked from Urban Decay. A really wonderful matte but not flat kind of concealer. I love this one. It's long lasting. Same goes for the Pacifica. This is the Liquid Cover Full Coverage Lasting Concealer. It doesn't look dry or cakey underneath the eyes, so definitely holding on to that one. I will hold on to my PYT ones. I got rid of one of them a while back, but these are actually really nice just because they look like little crayons, actually. Let me show this to you. And then the other side has a brush to it, so if you ever need to touch up, I think that is super convenient. So I really like that. I have two shades here. One's a little bit lighter and then one's a little bit darker, so we're gonna hold on to these. NYX Born to Glow. It's okay, it's very brightening. I think this is a little bit too light for me, so I am going to pass this on. Here is a concealer that is awesome. This is the CoverGirl True Blend. Oh my god, this comes in so many shades. It is an awesome concealer. I have, let's see, Classic Ivory. Yeah, this one is really good. I highly recommend this. I tried this out because Jackie Aina raved about this concealer and it does not disappoint. So I'm gonna hold on to that one too. The KVD concealer, I do like this concealer, but you have to work quickly because this will dry down very fast. So let's hold on to this one for a bit longer. All right, with these, the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop, again, this is actually a really great formula. These are wonderful concealers, but they are older, so I am going to get rid of these. This Juvia's Place concealer, I think I'm going to declutter this one as well. This thing is huge, by the way. It just was a little too much coverage for my liking, so we're gonna get rid of that one. With the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, this is the one I like. I got rid of the normal camo concealer because it was just way too heavy for me, but I like this one. So we're definitely going to keep this one. And then here are tried and true concealers that I absolutely love still to this day. I use them all the time. This is Tarte Shape Tape. This is just a love affair that I've had. I know a lot of people say that this is just too drying. I think this is just enough on me. It's not too much. I'm definitely going to hold on to it. This one is from Too Faced. This is the Sculpting Multi-Use Concealer. This is the Super Coverage. I have two shades. This one I usually use all over my face sometimes as foundation, and then this one I'll use as just kind of brightening concealer. So I got this one in my BoxyCharm, so that's nice that I have two now. I really like these. These are really great concealers. Now on to powders. I absolutely love powders. Again, powders are great just for setting, and then if I tend to get a little oily, it just helps me throughout the day. So one of my favorite powders of all time is the ABH one. So this is the loose setting powder in vanilla. This thing is also huge. As you can see, it takes up a big chunk of this little storage here. I am going to hold on to it because I like it so much. I wish it wasn't so bulky, but it is a really good powder. So let's go over here. This one's my Beauty Bakery flower. I really like Beauty Bakery's products and powders. I think this is an excellent setting powder. This is an oat translucent, which I actually think they don't make this anymore, but I do really like the concept of this and I like how it sets my makeup. So let's hold on to that one. This I think I'm just gonna get rid of. I was trying to hold on to it and just use it up. This is the JSC Magic Star powder. I no longer support this company. But this was a really beautiful powder. It was one of my favorites in my collection, but I just can't use this anymore, so I'm gonna declutter it. And then this is the Pacifica. This is the brightening powder, the Crystal Rays one. What I liked about this is that it had this top to it, and then if you pulled this up, it has a net, and then you would put your brush in and the powder would come up. So I really liked that about this powder. My Vapor powder kind of does something similar, but the brightening effect, it's kind of, I was into this at first, but then it looks like you have like violet and stuff under your eyes, which again is brightening, but I'm just not overly crazy about it. I know that they have a mattifying powder in this kind of component. I would be interested in trying that out maybe in the future, but for now I think I am going to declutter this one. Definitely keeping the Too Faced Peach Perfect. This is a wonderful setting powder. I love the way it smells. Again, newer purchase, technically a repurchase because I used up my old one a couple years ago. So we're gonna hold on to that. So these are my other two smaller loose setting powders. So this one is from Root. This is their Setting Silk. This has a little bit of mica in it, so it looks kind of illuminating. To be honest, I don't use this as much as I used to, so I think I'm going to declutter this as well. And this is the KVD setting powder. This is also a really nice powder. Do I need it though with all these other setting powders? Let's hold on to it for now. I do like it, so we'll hold on to it. There's so many other powders I want to try in the future. I've been wanting to try the 100% pure one forever. I've heard great things about it, but we'll hold on to just these. And then I still have my my vapor one. So let me just kind of move these out of the way for now. And then these are all my other pressed powders. So this one, my friend Allison gave this to me. She was traveling in Europe right before COVID hit, and she went into Kiko and she got this beautiful Tuscan Sunshine Perfecting Powder. Let me open this up. This is probably the prettiest imprint on it. I'm not crazy about this powder, I'm gonna be honest with you, but because she gave this to me and it's so pretty, I'm gonna try to use it a few more times before I declutter it. Here is a pressed powder that I absolutely adore. This is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh. Love this powder so much. I can't say enough good things about it, so I'm definitely holding on to this. I am going to part ways with the NYX High Glass. Believe me, I do not have a thing against NYX. I love their products. I just think that this was a really cool concept. It came with certain brushes. I did do a review with all these products that they had put out, which was all like illuminating and everything. But to be honest, I just don't turn to this, so that's why I'm gonna pass it on to a good home. This thing is so old. Okay, so this is definitely one of the older powders in my collection. This is the Pure Pressed Setting Powder. You could really use this as a powder foundation. It is so old. Let me just see. I've had this for many years, so I'm gonna just toss this. It's time to let it go. And then the last two, yay, these I'm definitely holding on to. This one's the Urban Decay All Nighter. This is a great waterproof setting powder, so I'm gonna hold on to this one. I love the little raindrops on it. I'm definitely going to hold on to this. And then lastly, one of my favorite powders of all time. This is my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrushed Setting Powder, and I just think it's a beautiful, beautiful pressed powder. It's a shame that there's not much product in it, but it's a great powder, so I'm gonna hold on to this. Alrighty everyone, so everything is back in. I don't know if it even looks any better, but I definitely feel better. So here's everything back in my drawer that I'm keeping, and of course everything that I'm using in my daily rotation that I'm keeping, and then this is everything that is being given away or tossed. So that is it for me. Thank you again so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this collection video and declutter, and until next time, remember to stay compassionate and chic. Bye!